We've already received quite a number of questions from across the planet, and I'm going to give priority to a number of very high-level questions that have come in from Russia. The first that I'm going to start with is from a very well-known strategic analyst, a Mr. Professor Igor Panarin, who's the Doctor of Political Sciences at the Diplomatic Academy of the Russian Foreign Ministry. Professor Panarin starts with some short comments. He says, "I appreciate what Lyndon LaRouche and his close collaborators do, because many people in the world, including in Russia, are beginning to recognize reality. Like Lyndon, I also believe that the main threat to both the USA and Russia, and to the whole world, is a group of private individuals in London, who for hundreds of years have been organizing bloody wars all over the world for their own gain. These London bankers organized the world narcotics trade, which is killing hundreds of thousands of people every year. I think that all clear-headed intellectuals worldwide from different countries should unite their efforts to save the world from the chaos into which the London financiers are taking it." Now, Professor Panarin has two questions. First, what measures should be taken immediately to prevent the destabilization of Russia? He says, "I consider Gorbachev responsible for the demise of the USSR, and I think that he always championed British interests, and now he is being used to actively break up Russia." And his second question, how can the situation in the United States be changed so that people would come to power who realize that the British bankers have been secretly running America for a long time? And he asks, is there any possibility that Ron Paul could win? He's demanding the elimination of the Federal Reserve System and the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan and Germany. Thank you in advance.
Well, first of all, I'm not recommending Ron Paul for anything. I know the gentleman very well, and he's of the Austrian school, and that's not the kind of thing we want to spread around this planet. Let Ron do what he wants to do, but don't make him president or anything foolish like that. He does not understand anything about economy. He does not wish to understand anything about economy. We're in an economic crisis. We don't need his advice. On the more optimistic part of the thing, we can do it now. If we, take these, as the professor knows, there are people in relevant institutional positions in the United States who agree with me on this thing. We are not going to have a war. We're not going to have a war in Libya. We're not going to have a war in Iran. We're not going to allow it. We're going to hold the hands of those damn fools who want to play with this kind of stuff, because the only result they can create. Remember, the weapons capability exists, and people in Russia are among those who understand that. You cannot have that situation. You can't, because it would mean the extinction or virtual extinction of the human species. And therefore, anybody who wants to go to that war, including Obama, who is a lunatic already, he's insane. I diagnosed him back in April of 2009, and everything I said about him has been true. He is a modern reincarnation of the Emperor Nero. That's his mentality. His behavior is that. He's not fit for human company. Let him have a basketball in some place in a court, let him bounce his balls forever. Well, just keep him out of our government. So the issue here is, we do have, on the basis of human need, on the safety of the people of this planet, not to have a thermonuclear war. If we allow a thermonuclear war, humanity is in danger of extinction. Anybody would, like Obama, anyone like Obama, with a Nero-like mentality, don't give him that power. Don't give it to him. Get him out of there now. He's nuts. He's nuts. And there's no excuse for tolerating him in office any longer. The only excuse is the lack of guts of people to do something about it. Under those conditions, given the great poverty which is striking the world today, given what nations such as Russia, China, India, and so forth, as important powers, can do, the need for cooperation in economic progress of the type I've indicated today, here, that direction of progress is what all nations need. Russians, I know, because I know of what their attitudes are in part. They understand that. China is coming to a richer understanding of that. India will understand that in its own terms. Japan recognizes that in its own terms, like the recent rescue of that. Korea is now coming to the same thing. So why should we be at odds with each other in military way? We can resolve our problems by keeping the subject matter on what we need in progress. We don't have to quarrel about taking something away from somebody else. What we have to worry about is the need that we participate in assuring peace by helping the creation of those means by which the needs of mankind are assured. And this is, I agree with his position totally, naturally. There's no secret about that.